Hello, 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 hello. Now I'm going live on Instagram as well, and I hope you can hear me and see me on Facebook and on YouTube. This is my first time actually trying this, going live on all three platforms. So I hope it works. I hope it works. I hope it works. But hey, this is Copper with Kiki. Welcome to Copper with Kiki, and cheers to Copper. If you and your lunch break, hello. If you're just watching this randomly, hello to you as well. But did you notice something? My mug is Mickey Mouse, and this is Mickey Mouse. When it comes to Disney, I'm a baby. I'm always a baby all over again. God help me. But I love Disney, and I love to bring out the baby in me and in everyone, because there is a child in everyone that needs to find expressions at every time. Mine is finding expression. Mine finds expression when I play Disney, watch Disney movie with my children, and even though they are men now. But hello, welcome to Copper with Kiki. My name is Bukola Jolubufondi, referred to as Kiki, and I am the founder of Joshua's Army, where we raise boys to become wholesome and exceptional world-class leaders who can lead themselves, lead the family and the society, emotionally balanced men. So this is Copper with Kiki, and this is my first time coming on live on Facebook and YouTube. Usually I'll go live on Instagram, but I thought, why not try it on all three platforms? And here I am trying it. So please feel free to leave your comments or let's chat. Today, what I'm focusing on, what we're talking about, is being role models to our sons. And even though it's sometimes focused on fathers, we're sometimes talking to fathers directly, but I think we mothers as well, we have a role to play when it comes to being role models to our sons. So I'm going to be talking about being a role model, and so simple definition, right? What is role modeling? What is being role modeling? Is being somebody others can learn from, being somebody others can follow, being somebody who can lead others comfortably and ensure that, who can lead and ensure people follow them comfortably. So being a role model is being somebody who is intentional about what they do, who is who pays attention to what they do because they know that others are looking at them and others are following them from behind, from the side, or yeah, you get what I mean? Yeah. So that's my definition of being a role model. And why is it important for us as parents to be role models to our children? I know a lot of the times, I went to Daystar Christian Center, right, in Nigeria. And one of our motto is we're role models. So thinking of, hey, I'm a role model to my friend in church. I'm a role model to, people in my office. I'm a role model to, I'm living a Christ-like life, and others are seeing me. But we sometimes tend to forget about the first place where we're ministers, where we are the first group of people we're leading, which is this case our family, the first set of people that we're meant to be role models to, our children, people in our household. And a lot, so when we forget that, we kind of tend not to be very intentional about it. So and that's why I'm here to just throw this out there to remind us that, see, even though you were role models to the people you're leading at work, people in church, charity begins at home. It's first your children. I smiled there because I remember that, when we talk about love thy neighbor as thyself, we're thinking about my next door neighbor. I live in number 10. We're thinking about number 11, number 12, number 1, number 3, my neighbors. Love them as myself. Or I'm thinking about that next person, that person that sits next to me in church. But actually, your first neighbor is the person that lies next to you in your room, on your bed. Your first neighbor is the person that you wake up to within your house. Your your children, your spouses, our spouses, they are our neighbors. So when you're thinking about treating your neighbor, love your neighbor as yourself, treat others the way you want them to treat you, think about your children, think about your spouse before you think about the person you meet when you come out of your door. Now, back to being a role model. What does it? We've talked about what it means, and I'm just going to share a few things to consider when you're thinking about role modeling with your children. What do I need to consider as a role model to my children? What are the things that I need to pay attention to when I'm role modeling to my children? So one of them is behavioral consistency. It's something I used to say to my husband, myself and my husband used to say when my children were young. So the children want to go and play outside, or say, for instance, okay, now this used to be a thing in my home when my children were young, that during the week there were no TVs, no games during the week, and then weekend they have time, set time that they can play games or go on TV. And so sometimes when they see that dad and mom are in a very good mood, and then they will now come and say, try to look for something to make us allow them go on TV, watch the TV or go on their games. Yeah, watch the TV or go on their games. And after a while, I just caught us and I was like, come to think of it, these children are, I say that children are the greatest psychology you can ever live with. And I'm like, these children are using brain, they're using us, no game during the week, no TV during the week. And that's the rule. And I said to my husband, we have to be consistent with this. Yes, they have done something good, but we can look for other ways to reward them. Maybe saying, okay, during the weekend you go on your game set, or during 1 hour you can do 2 hours, for instance. Or okay, you've done something good. A good one that we used to celebrate a lot is anytime we go for parents' evening, whatever they say, we'll come back and celebrate it. And that gives them, gives them the ginger, the motivation to want to get good reports, and they're well behaved for those weeks before do everything, make sure they don't get into detention or anything before the next parents' evening, and then we roll over again. So when we've done that, they're now coming over, hey, can we do? I did work. So I began, and I went to look for other things, other ways we can celebrate their good results or the good feedback from school during after parents' evening, together as a family, rather than doing that thing that we said we will not do over the weekend. So be consistent in our instructions, in our boundaries, and in our behavior. Another one is today, being consistent in your behavior as a parent is, today your son woke up, you went to your son's room, and a good one. Another good one is, for instance, they're meant to wake up at 7 or be ready at, yes, this one. They're meant to be ready for school at 7:30 to be in the car, so that you can drive them off to school by 7:30. You guys have agreed. Today, because you're in a good mood, when they are not ready at 7:40, you're going, oh, boys, what is wrong now? Let's go. You're allowing them. And then tomorrow, because you're in a bad mood, 7:31, you'll be like, you guys are not in the car, I'm going, and you drive off. That's not and they will wonder, what happened? Yesterday, he waited, or she waited for us till 7:40, even though the time is 7. We're meant to be in the car by 7:45. So what's happening today? And what that means is, one, the children cannot predict it. They don't even know what they will do now that will trigger you as mom or dad. That's number one. Number two, other than the fact that children cannot predict it, they don't even know, they are unsure of what stands, what rules actually stand. Is it the 7:35 one, or is it the giving us leeway till 7:40, or because today you allow them till 7:40, tomorrow you're not allowing them. So being consistent in our behavior as parents is key. Also, what are your traits and your values as a parent? And I want to tie this to emotional intelligence for us as parents, me inclusive. A lot of us are not emotionally intelligent as parents, and it's amazing. Okay, a good example, like something I said to a father once. You come home, you get home to your children, and something, okay, now sorry, that's a call trying to come in. I need to know how to stop calls from coming into my phone when I'm doing all of this. But hey, you have you come home as a parent and you see something that doesn't go on well, or a lot of the times, this is one mistake we parents make. We assume something, right? So this, my lip gloss is meant to be on this desk like this. And then I come, is lying down like this. I don't like it. I like it like this, right? And because it's lying down, I come, who has put this? It's and then, you blow up, right? I blow it out of proportion. And the boy did not go near that thing. Maybe it was the wind, maybe it was something, or maybe it was even you when you were in a hurry and you blow it out of proportion, right? And then the boy is watching you and going, I didn't do that, right? As a parent, we expect our children to watch us and not see anything, even though one, you are blowing out your explosion is out of proportion. Your explosion is wrongly placed. You did not investigate and you assumed. The child knows that, but the child is looking at you and unable to reply, and looking at you and unable to say, oh no, Dad, you're getting it wrong. Mom, you've gotten it wrong, right? My thought is that child who is looking at you and not saying anything, at that moment is more emotionally intelligent than us parents. Because if the child, remember we're role models, right? If the child opens his or her mouth to respond to us the way we are responding to them at that moment, we will say they're disrespectful. But are you not being disrespectful as a parent to the child? Are you not disrespecting the child? Are you not even disrespecting yourself as a parent? Do you understand? But we expect our children to be respectful and all calm when we are not. So your traits, talking about behavior as well. And then what are your values? If integrity is your value, are you role modeling that? If you want your children to be children whose yeses are yes and whose no's are no's, are you role modeling that to them? If in this day of work from home, this is my lunch hour now, but my son comes into my my office space on my desk, comes into the door, and I'm in a meeting and I'm chatting, I'm going and the boy looks at me, and then 2 hours later or 1 hour later, I go to my son's room where he is working, and instead of he's in a meeting and doing that, and I'm wondering, but are you not in a meeting? I'm sure the boy will be going, but you just did that as well, Mom. So what are they seeing you do? What are your values? Are you living your values as a mother, as a parent? Integrity, love, peace. For me, fun is part of my value. I'm always cranky and I'm saying, oh, peace, fun, and joy is always part of my values. Are you living your values? Also, open and honest conversation. You're having a tough time. Do your children see? Do you discuss it with them, particularly when they get to a certain age, or being able to discuss it with their level of understanding, and then walk them through, talk to them about how you would overcome it? One of the things I do is when I'm going through tough times, I tell my children in the language they would understand it, and even ask for their own opinion, ask for what they think I should do. So my older son is an analyst. He's a deep thinker. So when something happens, there was a time I had issue with one of my friends, and he guessed and he came to me to say, oh, Mom, I noticed that I said yes, but this is what happened, this is what I did, this is what the person said, this is what the person said. I said, what do you think? And he told me, it was in fact, sometimes he's too honest for my, like, I'm like, oh, man, calm down for Jesus. Now, what is it? He told me what he felt, what I could have done better, and, how I could, repair the situation. And that myself and my friend, we went away, we had a time together, and stylishly, I just brought the thing up, and everything he told me step by step, I did. And my friend was just looking at me and saying, that's so nice. So, you of all people did that. And I was laughing that I actually asked my son, open and honest conversation. And for me, that means tomorrow when he's in a situation and he comes to me, I've been able to listen to him. That means he too will listen to me. We can talk about his situations that are, in his own life as well, or bothering him, and he will be able to listen to me. And then another one is balancing responsibility. Balancing responsibility. What are the responsibilities in the home? What is your own responsibility as a father? This now I'm speaking to fathers in the house. What are your responsibilities? What are the things you're responsible for? Fine, we know you pay the bills, we know. But in fairness, how many of them actually see that when you are going on your computer or the direct debits and paying the bills? They know, they appreciate it. But what are the things they actually see you do in the home? One of the things, I don't cook beans. I don't like eating beans. My husband's favorite food is beans. He makes beans a lot. And after a while, he began to, improvise the way or find a way to make beans such that his family members can eat it. And so in my house, when it's time for beans, this is how I sit down and fold my hand. Is the one that you understand. Then my son, his favorite food is pasta. In fact, it's cooking competition now. When it's time for him to make that, he gets up and he makes the favorite food or whatever. Whenever it's time for pasta in the home, he gets up and he makes it. Then things like responsibilities for mowing the lawn, for instance. What are the responsibilities of everybody in the home? How much of your responsibility do they see you do without complaining, without mourning, without all those moments? Pastor Sam, so many years ago, said, parents would say, oh, it's because of you I'm working. And he said, he asked us parents a question. If you did not have a child, would you work? Did you have a job before you got married and had a child? If yes, so why are you saying it's because of the child you're working? It's your responsibility. Hey, do it with joy and praise the Lord. Hallelujah from it. I say something that sometimes I look at my home and I'm like, oh, I want this thing to be here, is there. But thank God I have people living with me who even can get up to move my things from where I don't want them to be to where they, do you understand? This morning, for instance, I woke up, got ready for work, and after getting ready, there's this body spray. It's for men. I so much love the fragrance of that body spray. I think it's Brute Original. So I get it for everybody. Now, I got ready and I was going to pick up my body spray. I was looking at it and I said to my husband, your sons have been here. And he laughed. And I just picked up another body spray. I used it and I left the place. And in my head, I said, I can't remember myself. I said, thank God they are home to use my body spray and move it around. So when things like that happen, what's your response to it? I always look for things to be grateful to God for in everything. If I cook, I get there, I want to go and eat. I get to the kitchen, I'm like, you have finished the food. What happened? Thank God that there are people to even eat in the house that I don't have to beg, to eat the food. So going back to responsibility, what is your responsibility? And how do you carry out your responsibility as a parent? Are you grateful? Do you do it with joy, with grumbling, or also handling emotions? This is going to be the last one for today. Handling emotions. I think I've touched on it a bit earlier on, but how do you handle your own emotions as a parent? Because our children are watching the way we handle emotions. If at every given thing, I spark, I throw off the tantrum and everything, the children are watching you. The day they can do that, they will do it. Initially, they might not do it because they respect you and they feel dad and mom are. But the day they can, when they're beginning to hit those years, they'll do it. And that's when you're wondering, he's talking back at me. How about all these years that you have been doing the same thing? I'm sorry to say, but yeah, it's the truth. How do you manage your own emotions? How do you regulate your emotions as a parent, as a father, and as a mother? What do they see you do? How do they see you respond, when things happen? They're learning from us. And, they said that there's this saying, when they say a child bullies others or a child is a bully, they say, go and look at the home. The parents are probably bullies. And there was a question sometime by Fina Chicha, I think, on Facebook, where she said, I can't remember the question. I sent her a message. I said, a lot of the times we are the major bullies in our children's life. You are you are bullying your children at home, and you say somebody bullied your child, and you carry jeans and trousers and you go to school to go and do it, and the child is looking at you and saying, do you not do worse to me at home? So handling our emotions, being able to know your triggers and also your escape. I learn from my children. I watch my children and I brainstorm with my children. Some time ago, my youngest son, we're talking about something. I can't remember if it was just him or his older brother, and he's a basketball player, and I actually thought he was going to do it professionally. I was like, see money. But when he was now going into sixth form and we were now looking for, sixth form college for him, where we go to, I was focused on sports colleges and he was focused on sciences because that's what he wanted to do, science colleges. And, one day I said, this basketball, should I stop looking for sports colleges and everything? And he said, oh yes, mom, I love basketball because it's a good escape for me. When I feel overwhelmed, when I feel this way, I pick the basketball, I throw it into the hoop a few times, it relieves me like therapy. And I was like, basketball escape. Let me not talk about how much we have spent on this basketball training to be now. Thankfully, he's training others in uni. He's like playing as a professional. But then I was like, basketball escape. All this money now escape. But for his older brother as well, he goes to a posh gym. Going to the gym is his escape. What is your own escape as a parent? For me, when I'm cranky and cleaning, I'll just pick broom and brush and mop and I'll be singing and cleaning. What is that thing? So when I'm doing that, everybody knows that, okay, this is how she's feeling. So when my son picks up the ball and says, Mom, I want to go to the basketball court for a few minutes, I go, okay, are you okay? Do you want to talk about it when you come back and everything? I know that, that's what's happening at the moment. So when I'm beginning to clean, my husband will come and say, are you okay? You rub my back and you go, when you want to talk about it, come and talk about it. What is your escape? What's that thing that helps you regulate your emotions? For me, it's cleaning. For some people, it's eating. That eating one is not very good, because you just keep blowing up. But for some people, it's taking a walk. Going out, for my husband, is going out for a walk. Or sometimes driving around. You just pick his car keys and go and drive around the estate or go for a walk. What is yours? What is that thing that helps you regulate your emotions so that you can be a good and worthy role models to your children? So recapping the things that I've talked about that you consider when you're thinking, as a parent who is a role model, because we're all role models to our children, when you're thinking about your behavioral consistency, what are your how do you behave, your traits and your values, the way you respond to things, open conversation. Some people say it's vulnerability, but vulnerability, a lot of people are making it a negative word right now. But being open with how you're feeling and being able to have tough conversations about how you're feeling and how the people around you can help and support you. Then balance responsibility, your disposition to your responsibilities. Whether we are here or not, you will work, Abby. Do it with joy and embrace your responsibilities so they see and be able to embrace their own responsibilities. And then handling emotions, being emotionally intelligent as a parent is very, very key. And that would be me for today. My coffee is cold already, but I'll go warm it up before I go back to work. If this has helped you, please leave your comments. And if you're watching on Facebook, please remember to follow me on YouTube. You can also find me on Instagram. But before I dash off, I'd like to invite you to Dad and I dinner 2023. This dinner is the 7th I'll be organizing, and it's for fathers and sons. It's a dinner to bring fathers and sons together. There's so many videos that I see that go viral of the toddler boy running to father being, but when they begin to hit a certain age, you're beginning to wonder what's happening. It shouldn't be so. Me, I don't believe it should be so. We can live together. I hear a lot of mom come to tell me that, oh, Kiki, what do I do? They can't see eyeball to eyeball. You want to hear the truth? There was a time it was a case in my home as well that if I don't go for parents' evening, Dad will not go. Me, I will go. So I make time, two of us to go together. If the boy needs something, they won't be able to go to that. What is happening? Hello, I'm not a single parent. But a lot of us are married and living as single parents, single mothers. It shouldn't be so. And it's because, fathers, I don't think there is any man that would have a child and not want, or average man that would not want a good relationship with their son. But it's the know-how. And that's one of the reasons why Dad and I dinner is important for fathers to come dine with their sons. Magic happens when you eat together, when you play together, when you dance together, and when you have conversations, open conversations. And these and many more are the things we're going to be doing at the Dad and I dinner. It's just a couple of weeks away. It's happening on the 26th of November in London. Check the comment section on my bio for if you're on Instagram for the link to register. Please, fathers, come with your son. Come out with your son. A teacher once said to me that a student said, I wish my parents, I can't remember, but one of our parents, I think the parents were separated, would even take a second look at me and think of spending time with me. But again, when that child is at home, it might not show that, oh, I want you to spend time with me. But do they actually want us to spend time with them? The answer is yes. They crave it. They crave it. And I see the benefit of my husband having that relationship with his sons. It even makes life easy for me as a woman. Dad, I'm inviting you. Mom, this is a good Christmas gift for your husband, or that the man, the father, the man in your son's life and your sons. And so I look forward to hosting you at the next Dad and I dinner on the 26th of November in Chigwell, London. I love you, and my regards and love to my son in your home. Kiddos, bye. I'll see you again next week. My name is Kiki. Let's stop this now. Okay, end the stream.